I just wanted to touch on the fact that, like, first of all, like I said, good show. When you guys said we're gonna do Motley Crue, I'm like, okay, that makes sense because again of who they are. Then if we're gonna do, I think they're really the first '80s. I hate to say that term, but '80s hair band we've done. Yeah. Well, Cinderella, but by far and away the biggest so far, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, but I'm gonna tell you, man. I think when, like I said, I wasn't joking. When Hooligan Holiday, Misunderstood, and Love Shine, when it comes to 3 songs in a row, for me, the best 3 songs they have in a row on any album. Because Love Shine, like I said, I wanted to cram it in my top 4 and just try to fool you guys that I had 5 songs, but they're really 4 songs.
Yeah.
And Love Shine, to me, it's got that Seattle sound to it too, man. It totally does. And it doesn't sound like they're trying either.
Well, it doesn't. That doesn't surprise me that you really like this album because there is a heavy Beatles influence on this album.
Yeah.
And that's John Corabi, by the way. And
like I said before, I get bored with bands. You brought it before in an older show or a couple of shows ago about Rat when you said I didn't like them. I was like, no, I just don't like. I get sick of bands that just have one sound. I guess maybe there's a couple of ones you forgive, like AC/DC, Kicks. You know, they always kind of have the same album, right? But they have some great riffs. But you know, when a band doesn't progress, and this band definitely they sound like Motley Crue in every album, but every album from the first album have progressed in some way, right?
Yeah, and every album with a new look.
New look, yeah. And that was, I mean, that's saying something because they were a very visual band. I mean, they were all about the live show and the videos, which again, we talked about in a previous show with Duran Duran. We give Michael Jackson and Duran Duran all the props for videos, but Motley Crue is right up there too. Because like I said, they're one of the few bands, yeah, they would have scenes of like them playing live, but it wasn't just that, because every rock band back then was just, their video was them playing live. That was it, right?
Yeah.
These guys had, you know, a bunch of different scenes, whether it was smoking in the boys' room, or if it was, you know, them being in Chinatown for one video, or
is that what it was? I said whatever I said.
I think it was Chinatown. I think it's, they don't ever really say. They might say China. I don't remember it. Whatever. But yeah. So, but when they got there with Corabi and they kind of even morphed it, and like I said, and Dink was right when you said if you didn't know this Motley Crue, you wouldn't know this Motley Crue. But at the same time, you kind of do if you know it's Motley Crue.
It's like a mix of both, right?
Yeah.
Like you do, but then it could easily be a one-off from somebody else.
That being said, when they kept
vocals are different, and if you don't know Tommy's stuff.
Yeah,
right? The guitars, different guitars, you know what I mean? Like it's different.
And I'm gonna be honest. I went through the next 2 albums with Generation Swine, and what was the next one after that?
Saints of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
No, there was another one after that.
New Tattoo.
New Tattoo. Yeah. I couldn't find a song. Now there wasn't bad stuff necessarily, but there was nothing I could grasp onto. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing dominant.
No, there was no grooves I could get into, no real guitar licks. I was like, ooh, or even a vocal melody I can hook onto. It was just,
For me, when I know I love a band, and this is lame, but it's just me, and I've done this with buddies. Of course, I've done it with Ian and Slater and Crawford and those guys. We've sat around and tried to, just sitting on a couch, try to name all the tracks from one of those old albums.
Yeah.
If you can name all the tracks on Too Fast for Love and Shout at the Devil and Theater of Pain, without even looking it up, you must really like that band, or you listen to that album a lot, right? I couldn't name you a single song off that Tattoo album, and that just shows that I didn't give it the time of day.
And none of them sound familiar to me either. So it's like they all sounded new to me, and I know I've heard that album before, parts of it, and it's like it's just.
So when I say I love the band, and they were number 10 on my list.
Yeah,
it's that early chunk, right?
Yeah, sure.
I remember. It's not quite the same, but I remember in high school going for lunch at, I think it was called the Parkview Cafe. It was across from the theater in Main Street of Bracebridge.
Yeah.
It's the Thirsty Judge. It was the Thirsty Judge for years, but before that it was a diner. And we were trying to name all of AC/DC's albums. Back then we thought that was a ton of fucking albums. Now they have even fucking more albums.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I remember sitting there over a plate of fries and gravy trying to fucking name writing on a fucking napkin all the AC/DC albums. Right?
Yeah, I've done it with AC/DC, Metallica. Try to name the albums, try to name the tracks, but that just shows you're a true fan. If you didn't, you'd be like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't have a clue. Right.
Well, a relative thing of that is all the Swifties. They can tell you.
They can do it, right?
Yeah, they can do it. They totally can. Yeah.
Again, marketing genius. She's got an amazing staff. I doubt it's all her, I could be wrong, but that's amazing. That
She
is
still has to hire the right people.
and it's not slowing down, and that's awesome.
No.
Yeah, but you're right. Those fans, in fact, because I'm a Survivor fan, the TV show. A couple seasons ago, there was one guy that was in a band, another guy that was a Swiftie.
Search is over.
So the one guy they went back and forth, and they showed it on every episode for 2 or 3 weeks, where he would name a Swift song and the guy would name a Metallica song until they ran out of songs. And the guy that had the Taylor Swift songs kept going, and the guy was out of Metallica songs, and he named it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they didn't show the whole footage, right? It's something to keep yourself occupied while you're sitting on the.
I think too, and I may sound like the old guy saying this, but if you take any fan, I would say under 30, and ask them to name any album track of their favorite band, they might struggle.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Well, because albums are not a thing, right?
Except for Taylor, they totally are for Taylor.
Yeah.
Just because we were talking about Taylor Swift when she was being interviewed, Haley Williams, Paramore, Haley Williams. When she was being interviewed, because they're from Nashville and Taylor was living in Nashville when she was coming up and stuff.
Yeah.
Haley Williams, in a bunch of those interviews I've been watching lately, she said in one of them that whenever they win a major award or they have success, she said the first person that messages her is Taylor Swift.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like she's like an authentic person. So I think that's why the fans love her so much and like get into her. Like my nieces are so obsessed with her.
Yeah, it's been that way now for decades now. It hasn't been. It's not like she's new or her fans, but she keeps getting new fans. You know, she still has young fans. She has older fans.
I think she's stayed authentic too, right? Like she has that huge explosion hasn't really gone to her head.
No.
And not to turn
publicly anyway.
We've turned this Motley Crue after show.
Taylor Swift show.
But seriously though, But seriously
though, you do that. Sorry about that.
No,
I did it too.
My fault.
No, but to drive that point home, she has to be very uber talented to be able to keep doing this all these years.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And on top of it, she uses a new producer. I believe I'm correct. I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comments. I believe she uses a new producer for for pretty much every new album. So it's not like there's a production team that is doing all the work for her, doing the heavy. She's doing the heavy lifting. So I mean, I give her props. My wife and her oldest daughter are Swifties.
Well, if you've watched her documentary, if your wife is a Swiftie, I'm sure you probably watched her documentary, that she is in charge of that empire. It's not like somebody she's like being guided or anything. No, she's in charge of the empire.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, know where your money's going, know where it's coming in. Yeah.
Just like Nikki Sixx was in charge of that. I was trying to bring it back.
I was just going to say something loosely like that too. Like it just shows where life has gone for certain artists versus all those guys. And it wasn't just Crue that had money coming in and they're all just getting fucked up and partying and nobody really looking out for them, or it looked like from the outside looking in that that's why everything was so off the rails, right? How they actually put out some half decent music is
off the rail.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
right.
Well,
you know what I mean? How they managed to put out some decent music is almost mind blowing, especially considering all that turmoil that I mentioned in my picks right before Theater of Pain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was reading an article where Tommy Lee, this is a recent article within the last 5 to 10 years. So recent for me, 5 to 10 years. Tommy Lee was being interviewed. Right. Tommy Lee was being interviewed. And
way to diss yourself.
I think it was in the last 5 years, maybe even less, because Mick Mars had some money problems, and they asked Tommy Lee about, why didn't you have to sell your cars and your guitars and your amps and all your memorabilia? He goes, because I was smart with my fucking money. My grandchildren's grandchildren will have money to live on.
Yeah.
Mick Mars, I guess, didn't do things with it. And he also had, I think it was 5 illegitimate kids.
Right.
Well, and I think if I remember, because I remember having a different conversation, hearing another interview with him, with Tommy Lee talking about that too, and he kind of credits Sammy Hagar for that as well.
Yeah. Well, him and Sammy are close.
Yeah, they're very close.
They're doing something together right now.
Yeah.
If you have the right people in the industry looking out for you, right, it does help, right? Like,
well, I think it also helps the fact if you're actually coherent in charge of your own career, you know, where a lot of these guys aren't.
But
Tommy versus Mick, or Sammy versus everyone else in the Van Halen scheme, you know, because you know,
Tommy also credits Pam for putting those nuggets into his head and having him, you know, sock money away and invest, and so he does give Pam a lot of credit.
You know why that is, though?
Because he's got a huge cock and she's hot.
No, because she's Canadian. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
Oh, that's why.
Yes, hey,
we got the can gun. Hey.
Right. You say gives good head?
Something about head.
Just Ranked is researched and produced by the Just Ranked crew. Edited and mixed by Joe Burkle. Socials and marketing by DJR Media Services. Theme music by Blue Joker. If you're enjoying the show, please set your podcast app to download new episodes and help spread the word by leaving a review and tell everyone you know to listen.